My husband relays to me that I told him my heart was racing, and so he told me to just go lie back down on the bed, and he would come check on me after getting the baby. When he checked my heart rate, I had no heart rate, no breathing on my own. He thought maybe I was having a seizure, didn't know exactly what was going on because I did have to have a C-section. So he thought maybe it was something due to that. He immediately took me off the bed onto the floor and began to call 911 and also do CPR. When the paramedics got there, they moved me into the living room and just began working on me. Could not figure out exactly what was going on, just knew. They say I was clinically dead for almost 20 minutes, which of course is when you have no heartbeat and no breathing, no oxygen flowing on your own. So they began to shock me to try to get my heart back beating, and they did that 4 times with no change at all. And so during that time, of course, Jonathan was feeling helpless, not knowing what to do, my husband, and he felt like he should go get his Bible and anointing oil and just come pray over me before, they did anything else. And so he laid the Bible on my feet and just prayed a simple prayer of, God, your word is life. We just pray life. We speak life into Meredith. Your word can break the chains that the enemy is trying to, bind her with. And so he just prayed a simple prayer, and that very next time that the paramedics shocked me, they got a heartbeat. There was a tear in the main artery of my heart, which had torn and then bled and clotted, and it caused a massive heart attack. They told them that if I did make it, which was very unlikely, but if I did, I would probably be brain dead. I have severe brain damage. And so, of course, my family began to pray, our denomination as a whole. We've had reports on all continents except for Antarctica, of course, of people that were praying. So the second day, which would have been a Thursday, my husband and my mom had driven back home to get some clothes, and on the way home, the Lord gave my husband a verse, and it says, "Come and let us return unto the Lord, for he is torn, but he will heal us. He is smitten, but he will bind us up. After 2 days he will revive us, and on the 3rd day he will raise us up." My husband came in the afternoon of that second day, and he said, "I need you to squeeze my hands." And he went around to my hand, and I squeezed his hand. And then he went to my feet, and he squeezed my feet, and he said, "Can you feel this?" And I would flicker my eyes a little bit. So that was the first sign of any response whatsoever. Of course, I was on ventilator and feeding tubes and things like that, so I was unable to speak. And so on that 3rd day, they were going to remove the feeding tubes and ventilators and try to take me off some of the medications. They told my family, she won't be able to speak at first. It might be up to 72 hours if she speaks at all, because of the severe brain damage. And as soon as the nurse took the ventilator out of my throat, I said, "Thank you so much for taking that tube out of my throat." So it was kind of like everybody was just, astonished at that point. So the neurologist came in. He said, "I don't know, what has happened, but she does not seem to have any brain damage." In fact, he released me on that 4th day. The lead paramedic that came, his exact words were, "There was a marked difference from the time before he put the Bible on her feet till after he put the Bible on her feet. Her heart immediately began to beat." So that was the turning point in the situation.
How great the love of Jesus. Jesus Christ. Upon the cross of Calvary, the blood was shed that pardons me. No longer bound